I do have two just powerful moments that stick out in my head as I look back on last year. We went to our winter retreat, and this has quickly become one of our favorite events. We had pre-service prayer on Saturday night service, and we invited the students to join us as we just prayed for the service and invited God's presence to come. And mind you, we had been doing services all weekend long, like long services, and yet half of the students showed up for pre-service prayer, and they just start to press in and they start to worship, and the band was practicing, and they just start to play quietly, and before you know it, pre-service prayer, 7 o'clock rolls around, and the rest of the students show up, and they just walk into a room and just are instantly enveloped into God's presence, and they start to press in and start to pray and worship, and we threw our entire schedule out. We canceled games or announcements, and we skipped the fast set. We just went straight into worship, and I think we worshiped for like 2 to 3 hours that night. It was just so powerful. So my highlight for CCU was we had just started kind of a regular worship night on Saturday night, where we worshiped and prayed with each other and prayed for healing and breakthrough in each other's lives, and just had an opportunity to exercise the gifts of the Spirit. And we had a meal afterwards. But there was one night where we were all praying together, and God had just impressed it upon my heart that that someone had a word for the group, that someone had just a prophetic word of encouragement. And so I asked some of them, I said, hey, has God given you a word? And it was just silence. I remember thinking like, oh man, I was so wrong. I misheard, and you know what? I've been wrong before, at least a couple times. So yeah, but I just I felt it again. Like I felt that someone had a word for the group, and so I just started to say, hey, like, don't be scared. And before I even finished that sentence, someone had spoken up and got the courage to speak this word, and it was just so powerful and exactly what we needed to hear as a group. And after that, the girl that gave the word, she was just filled with a new heavenly language that she'd never spoken before. She was filled with the Holy Spirit for the first time, and she just began to weep in the Spirit. And it was just such a powerful moment, a powerful reminder of God's incredible power in our lives when we give Him the space to work, when we allow Him to do that. All of these things, I look back in this incredible year, it's just been such a blessing, and I can't wait to see what God has in store next.